What is up, everybody? It is Lawrence again from My Squeakers, and we have one of the most technologically advanced sneaker slash boots to release from Nike in a really long time. I mean, the amount of tech that you're getting in this thing is absolutely crazy, and it's definitely part of their all conditions gear or ACG line. So without further ado, let's get into the review of the Nike ACG Mountain Fly GORE-TEX. So the idea behind the all conditions gear line is pretty simple. It was originally done in the early 90s, and it was basically a way for Nike to get into the outdoor segment, you know, think hiking and things like that, where they could create materials and things like that that were not specifically for basketball or running. And it's been pretty popular over the last several years after it came back, about the last 5-6 years, I believe, when this guy his name's Hugh Errolson, started being the creative director for Nike ACG, which became very tech wear heavy. Nike has kind of gone away with that and gone back to much more traditional, almost like 90s retro vibes in types of, in their sneakers and apparel and things like that for ACG. Before I get started, I wanted to change up the format a little bit. I'd say that after looking at the stats for a while, most of you guys do not get past the first several minutes of the video. So instead of putting a lot of the information that you need to make a purchase at the end, I'm gonna put it in the very beginning. Let me know in the comments if you like this format. If you don't, obviously I'll change it back. But my whole goal is probably gonna be the intro of the sneaker as well as kind of the design cues and things like that, and inspiration, then the sizing as well as comfort level, and then finally into the review of the sneaker itself. If you guys want to know more about the sneaker up front, obviously let me know in the comments below as well, just because I'll fine tune this based on what you guys want. In any case, the sizing of the sneaker is pretty simple. It is sock-like in many ways, and so because of that, I would say definitely go a half size up. I went a half size up. I'm really glad I did. I'm normally 7.5. I went with an 8. So whatever fly knit size you normally have, I would recommend that size. It has a very tight glove night fit. Especially if you're going to wear this during the winter, during bad conditions, you're probably going to want thicker socks. So that half size up will give you breathing room for both comfort as well as layering if you need to. These are $220 retail, and so for the technology that you're getting, and honestly the use case that you're getting them for, I would say that is in line with what you would expect at a $200 plus shoe for a very technical sneaker. But considering all the tech that's in here from Nike, I'd say it would be probably more than decent for you guys to buy this for $220. So the upper of the sneaker is made out of a nylon grid, and it is very grid heavy. As you can see, most of the sneaker is actually reflective, so that's really awesome. So if you look at the bottom half of the panels, it is all made out of this reflective grid done in a khaki color, and then the top half over here is a tighter grid, is not reflective, but it's still made out of the same khaki color. And then finally, along the side of the sneaker, you actually have some fuse that says ACG tested and designed in Oregon, and that is where it bonds into the gator element of the sneaker. So getting up to the very top of it, this is a gator, which basically is an adjustable thing around your ankle. And you can see how flexible it is. There are 2 pull tabs on both the front and the back. It actually makes the shoe a lot easier to get into, so as you're putting it on like this, you can pull it this way, and it's pretty easy to get on. I was actually expecting this shoe to be really difficult because it looks so tight, but it does stretch a lot. On the lateral side of the sneaker, you have a nice Nike swoosh that is done in also a reflective material, and then on the lateral side, it's pretty much the same thing except there is no Nike swoosh. On the back over here, you have Nike ACG imprinted, also done in a reflective color. So as you can see, reflectivity was a huge part of the sneaker. And also in the back, you have the Nike as well as Fly plate imprinted on the very bottom of the sole. Finishing off the top, you have GORE-TEX written in very large letters in the front. Normally, I don't really like GORE-TEX branding because, like, why? But it is what it is, and I think it's actually pretty good. I don't really mind it at all when it's there. It just seems like it's very functional for whatever reason. And that's done in a neoprene, and it's a nice stretchy little neoprene. Then you have the lacing system, which is a one-piece lacing system, and it's done in this rope. And you have this little toggle to basically, you know, adjust it up and down. So finally finishing off, you have this really stretchy neoprene at the very top that I showed you earlier. There is neoprene over here, but it's much tougher. And over here, it's actually much stretchier. The shoe itself on the inside is mainly this softer neoprene and the stretchier neoprene, which is what hugs your foot like a glove. GORE-TEX is a layer that will prevent most, if not all, water It's waterproof, it's considered waterproof, but there is a chance of wetting out, but that's another story for another time. For the most part, in most conditions, when things are wet, your foot is going to remain dry, and that's done all throughout the entire upper of the sneaker boot, and that's really, really, really great for things like rain, light snow, and things like that. I can't attest to how much it might kind of come up through the seams over here and actually wet out the shoe, but it really depends on the construction. If the Gore-Tex is really seeped in, it's going to be pretty good at keeping most of that water out. And Gore-Tex is highly breathable for a waterproof and windproof material, but it is not a breathable material compared to many other things. So it'll be interesting to see how much your feet are going to sweat in this, but for the most part, extremely durable upper and extremely made for the weather. So most of this midsole is made out of this React material, and that's awesome because it feels really soft and squishy to the touch. You can definitely feel that on the on feet as well. But then the rest of the sneaker has this heavier rubber and lugs that you can see all throughout. And what's kind of cool is that the lugs do wrap into the front for any kind of toe type protection if you need it. So if you need to bang up against rocks or anything like that, there's actually a lot of grip here. Nike has also claimed that they're using a very grippy rubber or sticky rubber on the very bottom. It feels that way for sure. So I'm not 100% sure how it's going to actually do in weather itself, but it has a lot of grooves here, has little tiny spikes that you can see. And finally, the last piece of this, and you can kind of see it along the contours of the React foam, they actually put in Nike 4% Vaporfly technology with the carbon fiber plate that's over here. I honestly can't tell what the difference is in a kind of trail perspective, but these feel really amazing on feet. So what are my thoughts on the sneaker? In terms of style, I love these. They actually released in the black version, which is also phenomenal, but it's a lot more understated. This one, you can actually tell all the different technologies that are on it. I really like this sneaker from a looks perspective. I would definitely recommend this for anybody that is some type of urban dweller that wants to have a more stylish sneaker in the city, but it can also be really durable for when you go out to the mountains. I feel like this is one of those definitely sneakers that will be a good cross between everything that you can do. I absolutely loved having these on feet, and I really cannot wait to try these in worse weather. Hopefully worse weather doesn't actually come, but they feel amazing. And that's it, guys. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up for the algorithms. If you like this content, definitely squeak all over that subscribe button. But until next time, this is the Nike ACG Mountain Fly Gore-Tex. Peace.